bunny. Let's mix it. For a gray-brown color, I have blue here, so we can mix it with some orange or maybe with burgundy. And I end up with this kind of dirty color, something similar. I'll use this as a base and let's outline it. Look, the head ends roughly in the center. And this is the main shape. The ears, we have one ear exactly half a head, or rather in height, it's like another head and a second ear. A bit longer, the one that's more elongated. So now this color is a bit dirty, I'm removing it. I want more orange and brown. I'm trying out this orange-brown color, seeing how it looks. Overall it's not bad, but it's too orange, so I take more brown, adding some blue and burgundy. I'm trying, it's more or less okay. I'm erasing it again. The task is to cover the canvas with color in the next half hour. Well, my task is not to do it in half an hour, but in about 10 minutes. For you, the average time is about half an hour. You need to fit within that. Some people do it faster, some do it slower. Actually, you don't need to rush and try to keep up with me or anyone else when you're drawing. You should find your own comfortable speed, but at the same time don't slow down too much either. So, at first, of course, you'll always spend more time on each case. For example, I always set myself the goal to do it faster. The most interesting thing is that the quality doesn't suffer. In fact, you get more lively and impressive pictures. That's because the brain tends to get stuck on certain details that actually take away from the expressiveness, the effect, and the vibrancy of the painting. So yellow, white, and now I'm finding the lightest areas. The most important thing here when we're painting a portrait is to separate the light and dark areas in terms of tone. When we're painting an animal, of course it's easier to do this and see it than with a human face, but easier doesn't mean that everything is always super clear. Look, we already have some shapes appearing. For now we'll keep working with this large brush. For the background I want it to be quite light again, but maybe with a hint of turquoise, just a slight touch of grayish color. White is the base. I take pure white, rub with the brush, and it creates this kind of dirty color. Of course, I'm not satisfied with it, but I added it in some places. That's it. I'll add it to the hair as well. And that's it. I remove this color, rinse it in solvent, and take white paint again. I take white paint again. Okay, I'm out of solvent again. Okay, white. I'm mixing it with turquoise. I'm adding it here. The background shouldn't be a single color, so each time try to mix in another shade. Let it be barely noticeable, but make sure it's there. Alright, I'm also showing how I cover with a light color. You can now remove the excess around the hare's silhouette. Like this. The ears seem bigger in size. I want to work on them some more. So it doesn't look like that. We'll make the snout a bit smaller too. Now we only have one color left. I'm adding a hint of pink somewhere. Just a hint, just a little bit. and somewhere blue with turquoise. Maybe we'll add more shades later, but for now this is enough. So we take white, pure white, and we start adding a bit more white here and there. Like this. I'm getting rid of the gaps. That's it, I did this with this rough brush. There now. Well, I kind of want to add another shade in there. Maybe something like this. Or maybe just a little bit. Like this. So that the background looks a little denser. And I think that's enough for now. So, for it to glow nicely, we need to add a little darkness somewhere. For example, right here, but a more greenish shade would work better there, something more natural. That's it for now. For this background. That's enough. So now I put this big brush aside. I'll use smaller brushes now, and I'll work in a more detailed way. Well, it's a smaller brush, but it's still a pretty big synthetic one. I start again with the dark colors. I take brown, I mix it with blue and burgundy. I get a very dark color. I add this very dark color where it's missing. In the ear, in this ear, in this ear. And for now, I'm working pretty freely as well. I mean, I'm not painting the eye yet. We go into the eye through the dark area. Watch. I'm not drawing the eye yet. I'm not outlining the light and dark areas yet, just adding the dark parts for now. That's enough. I'm mixing orange with brown. And this color goes on the cheek, on the nose. I mean, my brush is big. It's not good for small details, but we don't need them yet. Okay, orange, red. And let's get into the ear too. We can put a little here too. We should have plenty of shades. Where it seems gray, look for the shades. Because plain gray, well, it's extremely rare to find pure gray. And even if it is pure gray, still try to make it shimmering, that is, with little shades. Add some of your own shades to it. Because if it's pure gray, pure white, or pure black, it kills the vibrancy of the painting. It becomes very artificial, you know. Robotic, I don't know. Well, basically lifeless. So there, so it's already there, paktoface. So here next. Let me make it smaller. In size. And now even wider. We take some There, it changed. See, just like mine. Alright, that's probably it. Oh, the whiskers, the whiskers. Right. I've got a super brush here. It's called a liner, I think, with long bristles, thin. First, let's take some white and do it. It's very watery. Too much thinner. And we added it's also important to add some turquoise shades here, for example. So not just plain white, but with some shades. Try to make your movements quick and broad. Otherwise, if you try to draw it carefully, the shaking of your hand will be immediately noticeable. Alright, and the darks shouldn't be too black. I mixed blue with brown and diluted a lot. It turns out pretty transparent. I'll try it here first. Oh, too dark. I'm mixing it with a little bit of white. That's fine too. There we go, that's one. The whiskers will appear. You can just remove just a little excess from them. Add a slight reddish tint, for example, to touch up this blue one. So I don't just have white ones, right, but also white, turquoise, dark and brown ones. This one's too sharp, so I'll soften it a bit. I'm adding some color there. There, that's it. Well, sort of. I'd still like to add some highlights here. You could easily spend 3 more days finishing small details here. At the same time, I want to finish quickly and nail it, and move forward. Here you can choose based on how it feels to you. So this final stage, everyone has their own stopping point. Alright, I'll still add some turquoise here. There. Yes. This area just won't leave me alone. It keeps bothering me. Let me see. Well, more or less. That's all. I think we can wrap it up with this. Good luck to you. I hope this video was helpful to you. There you go. Let me know in the comments if you managed to listen all the way to this point. What would you like to see? Well, what kind of tutorial? So, well, and actually if you have any comments or suggestions about the process in general of creating a masterclass, let me know. Any criticism will be very useful to me. Actually, my goal is to be as helpful as possible and to give knowledge that you need a
Thank you. Thank you.
That's all. Good luck to everyone and see you next time.